What's up, everybody, and welcome to COPA Radio. Chilling with myself, Honey Molasses, and I've got Ian here. Woohoo.
Hello, everybody. I'm technically the station manager, but seeing as this week in music history, all the content is compiled by yours truly. For those who don't know the ins and outs of English language, that means it was compiled by me. Okay, so all credits due, but at the end of the day, we just like to pass on the knowledge. So let's get started.
All right, so on the 30th of May in 1974, born on this day, CeeLo Green, Thomas Calloway, singer, rapper, songwriter, and record producer. He was born this day.
He was born on this day.
You know CeeLo Green, right?
Of course, I know who CeeLo Green is. He didn't he also go by the pseudonym of Gnarls Barkley?
There we go.
Yes. And I believe he had that chart-topping hit "Crazy."
Yep.
As well. And as far as I'm concerned, he's actually very prevalent in popular culture as well. He actually provided music for an episode of Family Guy at one point. So guy gets around, and you got to give him his respect where it's due, right?
He's pretty good. He's also doing a lot of acting lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
Really?
been doing a lot of acting.
What is he in?
He was, wait, what movie was that? I think it was Pitch Perfect. He was in Pitch Perfect.
Oh, okay.
He was in a few movies, man. He was just in a lot of movies.
He gets around.
He gets around. He's that person, right? And in 2014, on the 30th of May, Aretha Franklin received an honorary degree from Harvard University. The soul legend became an honorary Doctor of Arts at the Harvard ceremony, which came a year after. She was forced to cancel a string of concerts due to ill health. Okay, so I'm looking at this and it's like, why is she only getting this after?
Maybe it's a consolation prize.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not...
Sorry, you had to cancel your concerts because of ill health. So no, but I don't know, maybe it was just a long time coming, and then maybe her having to cancel these things due to ill health. You know how it is. The minute a well-known artist starts to exhibit public symptoms of being of ill health, people tend to worry and assume the worst. And I mean, look at Prince, look at Michael Jackson, all these guys. I don't know so much about Prince, but I mean, any music artist that starts to exhibit signs of ill health, it's a sad thing, but death is not usually far around the corner.
Yeah, with Prince, he just went on like, hey, so I'm going now.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
That was so unfair.
There was literally no warning.
No.
Like, he was well the one day, and then the next day he was not quite so well.
Yeah, he just put deuces and disappeared. Yeah, so
Exactly.
he died of flu. But I don't know if that's true. But also, Aretha Franklin is quite old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of made sense. It was like, you're old, man, so it's okay, type of thing.
Yes, exactly. It's like, well, you're at that certain age, you might as well start moving on to greener pastures. But yeah, nonetheless, Aretha Franklin, what a soul legend, and I think that honorary doctorate that was bestowed upon her was well deserved. I think we can all agree on that. Moving along, on the 31st of May in 1975, during a press conference held at the Fifth Avenue Hotel in New York City to announce the Rolling Stones' forthcoming American tour in that year, the Stones themselves came down the street playing live from the back of a flatbed truck. The Stones drummer Charlie Watts came up with the idea after the practice of New Orleans jazz musicians who would also play just walking down the street. So talk about publicity stunts, eh?
Hold up. So this is not like a parade type thing.
Not like a what kind
like
of thing?
a parade. So like you'll have like your float type of thing going.
I think the idea is sort of there because I mean obviously they got the idea from these jazz musicians who would literally just walk down the road and busk, so they decided to take it one step further and get one of those massive flatbed trucks and then just set up all the gear and it says here that it was during a press conference as well, so I found myself wondering how the logistics of that worked. Were they like taking some questions first and then, okay guys, just we'll be right back, and then out of nowhere they rock up with this whole flatbed truck thing?
Do you know what would be cool though? If they were going to the press conference, and they were entering just, that's the grand entrance.
Yes.
Like, look at us. We're awesome.
We're here for our
Okay.
press conference.
Say something.
Yes.
All right. We're legit.
You know what? They
They're so
probably
cool.
did that. That's I'm sure that's exactly how they went
Yeah.
about it. Because, I mean, it would make no sense to just leave halfway through the conference. It's
No.
like rock up, play some songs on your flatbed truck, and then jump off to a fanfare, and then, bam, start fielding the questions.
I think I want to do that as well. I just want to rock up at press conferences, just in a band. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but
Oh,
it's going to happen.
Very easy. Very
Like,
easy.
I mean, it's not like the American press conferences where most of the time it's outside and
Yes.
there's like, a podium thing.
Yeah.
And,
No,
it's-
usually for us, it's in the lobby of some hotel somewhere, you know.
And you're paying like a lot of money just to sit there and be given coffee
Yes.
and water
Yes.
and ask questions.
Yes.
No.
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 I
We don't want to do
think
that
we have better things to do with our time.
all the time.
Exactly. All right. And then in 1976, the year after that, the old school rock band The Who, they gave themselves a place in the Guinness Book of Records as the loudest performance of a rock band at 120 staggering decibels when they played at Charlton Athletic Football Ground. I feel like that might have been the record back in the day, but
That's crazy.
surely it must have been broken by this point.
It probably is louder now. But I need to ask Mitch, what's the threshold? Like,
For what specifically?
it's 120 decibels.
For
So,
what specifically?
Human comfort, perhaps?
yes, there we go.
Decibels for human comfort?
Yeah.
I'd say 60 decibels.
Oh, wow. So we're all very uncomfortable every time we go to
Yeah.
in any kind of live performance.
I think I don't even think I'd survive.
No.
I
no.
really don't think I'd survive.
No.
Like, that is too loud for me. So imagine just having like mini bass bins everywhere and just like, oh, no.
Yeah,
No.
no. It's a bit of a dangerous practice, but the fact that it was in an actual football stadium probably I don't know, made things a little bit easier for everyone. It's not like 120 decibels inside this tiny recording
No.
studio.
No.
As you say, we would probably die.
We would die.
We would die.
Yeah, I'd
it would
be
be a
the-
glorious death, but we would die.
I'd be the first to go.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have the threshold. So I'm just like, hey guys, so guess what I'm doing?
Killed by malicious sound.
But it might happen. It really might happen.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
just, your eardrums might just pop. And
If
like
it
a lot
hasn't
of things.
happened yet.
If it hasn't happened yet, it can happen.
Yeah.
I know it can happen, but I think as musicians and producers, we should know more than anyone else to keep our ears safe.
With great power comes great responsibility here.
But most people don't like wear earplugs, especially when they go to like festivals
Yes.
or something.
Well, then
we
that's
don't.
their problem.
Oh, Mitch is being that person again.
Yeah, yeah.
I got man
All negative and critical.
He's being so critical. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
on the
All right,
1st
let's-
of June,
let's move on,
however, in 1969, the Plastic Ono Band recorded Give Peace a Chance during a bed-in at the Hotel Lorraine in Montreal, Canada. Producer Phil Spector, poet Allen Ginsberg.
Ginsberg, yeah.
Ginsberg, yes. And writer Timothy Leary all sang on the song.
You do know who the Plastic Ono
No,
band are?
but
Okay.
no.
You remember, obviously not firsthand, but you know of the story of how the Beatles broke up.
Yes.
Because John Lennon met this very artistic woman by the name of Yoko Ono. Boo.
Power to Yoko.
Power to her and her artistry. But yes, so the little group that she basically formed with John Lennon and pretty much whoever else happened to be passing at the time. I mean, various musicians, Eric Clapton, George Harrison, they've all collaborated with the Plastic Ono band in its very short history of but they were more of a statement
Yeah.
group. They were more about making a statement, and this whole bed-in thing was literally they just stayed inside of a bed and they had a press conference like while they were in bed. So there's John sitting in bed, there's Yoko sitting next to her, and I've seen footage of this thing. There's like journalists all sitting around them, and because it's not a press conference room, it's a damn bedroom in a hotel.
That
right?
is so cool.
So there's all the journalists just kind of sitting around, and then basically John was like, "Yeah, we've got a song to play for you guys. It's called Give Peace a Chance."
Yeah.
And all we are saying is give peace a chance, and they pretty much just repeated that for an extended period of time. And as you can see, many important figures in culture and in music were present there, and they also sang along a little bit. So obviously a whole anti-war thing. It was 1969. The Vietnam War was pretty much in full swing. So quite a momentous event in music history.
Wasn't this the song that they sang at what's that event that they'd go to? What's that place? That all the
Woodstock.
hippies- Yes.
The thing is, Woodstock happened in 1969.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
entirely sure during what time of the year, because
Yeah.
this incident we are now talking about might have happened earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And for all we know, a whole bunch of really peace-loving hippies were singing that song around the campsites and around the festival. So it's very likely. But to my knowledge of the Woodstock Festival, the Beatles weren't even involved. Can you believe that? I mean, for such they it was, I think they were in India at the time or something like that. Also, given the fact that actually I stand corrected. If John Lennon was messing about with the Plastic Ono band, then the Beatles weren't even running at the time.
Yeah, they probably just like broke up.
Yeah.
That's a bad breakup.
Yeah.
Don't be the Beatles, guys.
By the way, feel free to send in corrections to our awful general knowledge of music to Twitter, #COPA Radio, just in case we are getting it wrong.
Yeah,
We
be those people.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Be like the grammar hogs, but
Yes.
just of information. Be a Mitch in life. Maybe not. And
Right.
in 1981, on the 1st of June, the first issue of heavy metal magazine Kerrang! We had to say it, there's like
Kerrang!
Kerrang!
Yeah.
Oh, is that how you say it?
That's how Kerrang! Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's meant to emulate the sound of a guitar chord.
Okay. Yeah, well,
Yeah. Kerrang!
that's pretty cool. I'm not going to say it. You say it for me.
Sure,
So it's
sure.
fine. Was published as a special pull-out by UK weekly music Paper Sounds. AC/DC had the front cover plus features on Motorhead, Girls' School, and Saxon.
So there you have it. A very important and prolific step forward for the slightly heavier side of things in the music realm. And as you can see, it wasn't even a standalone magazine. It was an add-on to an existing music magazine. And a lot of magazines do this. They have like little mini magazines inside of them to address. I know Metal Hammer has, they have for the majority of the magazine, it's all the normal content, but then they have a section called Subterranea where they focus on like the really dark stuff and like the really underground stuff and the really scary stuff. So
Where do you guys get this?
general knowledge, man. General knowledge.
It's like, I've never seen one of those ever.
No. I actually am now struggling to find them in South Africa. You used to buy them from the music store.
Yeah.
It's like an imported product. And then when I went there a while ago, they were like, sorry, man, no one was buying them. And I'm going, I was buying them, guys. Come on, but anyways, so that happened, and like I say, quite a momentous occasion in the heavy metal world. Okay, moving on the 2nd of June, I don't know if we know a group called Wham.
Yes.
We all know Wham.
Yes.
Wake Me Up Before You Go. Well, they had that was actually their first UK number one. The interesting thing about it is that it was obviously written and produced by George Michael, which was one half of the duo of Wham, who wrote all the songs. And inspiration for the song came from a scribbled note left by his partner, Andrew Ridgeley. That's his musical partner and not his life partner, as we all know. But for Andrew's parents. And the note originally intended to read, "Wake me up before you go," but with "up" accidentally written twice. So Ridgeley wrote "go" twice on purpose, just to be ridiculous. So from then on, "Wake Me Up." I'm surprised it didn't end up as "Wake Me up before you go," but I think, "Wake Me Up Before You Go" is quite enough words in a song title.
That would have been a really cool song if they said "Wake me up before you go."
Yes,
Yeah,
one
that-
whole extra musical beat.
Yeah, just because we can,
Yes.
we're gonna do it that way.
Okay. So
Because
so now it's no longer "Wake Me Up Before You Go." It's "Wake Me Up."
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's where you stand. Fair enough.
That's where I'm going.
Fair enough. All right, moving on. Also on the 2nd of June in 2005, now this is really interesting. I found this very cool. A band called Franz Ferdinand, okay? And the frontman of that band, a gentleman by the name of Alex Kapranos, he was detained by the Russian police after being suspected of being a spy. Hey, how ridiculous, okay? How does that even happen to anyone outside of a movie?
Dude.
You know, just I think you might be a spy. What had happened was he was attempting to board a plane in Moscow when the altercation took place. Traveling under his actual surname, Huntley, Alex was accused of being an MI6 agent who was previously suspected of stealing information on Russian weaponry.
Oh my God.
Unlucky for Alex that the surname Huntley was also used by actual former MI6 agent Richard Tomlinson, who did steal secrets in the early 90s. The singer was freed after he pointed out that the Huntley they were so concerned about was 42, a whole 13 years older than him.
That is so sad.
Hey, imagine you're just trying to travel through Russia, do your own thing, and you get suspected of being a spy for MI6.
And they're like, hey, you look like you could be a spy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to arrest you now and ask you a lot of questions. And you can't
You
go
have the
perform.
same name as a gentleman who
That
was a
is
spy.
so stupid,
Hey?
though. Didn't they have like background check or anything like that?
You know what? They probably did, but then, spies, man. Plastic surgery, disguises. They were probably like, this one's a wily one. We've got him this time, kind of thing.
But didn't they know that he's part of a band?
Yes. Do you remember a band called Franz Ferdinand?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they didn't know that he was part, or did they just assume?
Well, I don't want to sound. I don't know if it's racist when you slightly criticize a country as a whole. Is it countryist? I don't know, but generally speaking, it's popularly believed, let me just say, that many countries in Eastern Europe are a little bit behind the times when it comes to pop culture in general.
Oh, that is sad.
There's lots of jokes that fly around that like, Russia's going through the 1980s right now. And like they're all listening to music from then just because it took so long. Obviously untrue, and this is just a generalization.
Yeah.
But the humor is there, and when there's smoke, there's fire.
Shame.
But long story short, don't get mistaken for a MI6 spy by
No.
Russian authorities.
No, it's like just getting detained at the airport and they're saying that you're a terrorist.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you look like a terrorist.
Meanwhile, you're just a little bit hairy on the face.
Yeah, Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Or
Who
you just
knows?
want to cover your face because you've got Ebola or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Well, that was your music news. That's your week in music history. And
We are not
We've got
actually
something
technically
else.
done yet.
no, we're not.
No,
I'm so
we've still got the
sorry.
3rd and the 4th of June to get through.
Yeah, because Ian's just like, rolling
I'm
his
waving my
hand,
finger
and
around.
I'm like, what is this?
It's
Is
either
it
the
you
wrap up.
music?
I understand the confusion. It was either the wrap it up motion or it was the please turn over motion.
It looked like a wrapping up motion.
It really did, and
It
I
really
apologize
did.
most profusely for that.
But it's fine. We're on the 3rd of June now. In 1970, the Kingsray Davies was forced to make a 6,000-mile round trip from New York to London to record one word in a song. Davies had to change the word Coca-Cola to Cherry Cola on the band's forthcoming single Lola due to an advertising ban at BBC Radio.
Another example of the man keeping us down.
Look, man, I'm not gonna fly that.
Also, obviously,
So
back in
far.
the day, they couldn't just send something via email or whatever. It's like, dude, we need your voice, and we can't exactly just record it and email it because such things do not exist.
Wow.
They could have recorded it where they were on tape and sent the tape.
But how long was it gonna get to them also?
Same as like a human, I imagine.
You'd be surprised.
Like
I think people take priority over traveling preferences as opposed to inanimate pieces of recording.
But I'm sure like if it was such a big deal, they would have made a plan and like tracked it and made sure like someone is with it.
And this is why they made a plan and said that he must travel 6,000 miles.
That's unnecessary. Though.
It is
It's a
unnecessary.
conspiracy theory.
That could not be a conspiracy
That's a
theory.
conspiracy theory. They were trying to kill him. They were trying to wear him down so that when he arrived, he would weep and they could take him out easily.
Well, he still recorded the song.
And so
And he was alive.
commitment.
I mean, maybe there was something in the Coke, like they welcomed him, like, oh, he has a cherry cola, and he was like, oh, thanks, and there was something in the Coke. Boom, 30 years later, cancer.
Cancer.
What?
Oh,
Well,
Mitch, it's only a mistake.
I'm
man.
going to agree to disagree on that part, but I think it's always a possibility, nonetheless. But yeah, I would say commitment to the Kinks, Ray Davies, for
Yeah.
making a plan, just for one measly, tiny little word.
I'd probably do that just for the fun of it.
And just to
New
tell
York
people.
to London for one word. Me being me, I'm just gonna be like, hey, I traveled that far for one word. You guys are not that important. Boom,
Oh,
baby.
fine.
Oh yeah.
Fine.
Oh yeah. He must have felt very important though, that to travel that far.
Yeah, well, his voice was that required that he needed that they needed one word to be recorded. But nonetheless, he put in the time and he made the effort to go all that way.
All right, and in 2006, Red Hot Chili Peppers were at number 1 on the UK and US album charts with Stadium Arcadium, the band's 9th studio album, which was also on the
Yes.
3rd of June.
Just a little bit of trivia on that as well, and I will freely admit that I put that in there because I'm a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. Okay, and the reason why I put that in there, not only was it their 9th studio album, it was also their last with their iconic guitarist John Frusciante. After which he went to go and do his own strange and mysterious musical savant genius thing, and after that, in my personal opinion, things weren't quite the same.
The chemistry, man.
The chemistry.
It's chemistry. Like,
so important.
Once you lose the chemistry, then it's not easy to get it back.
Mm.
Because then again, like if you get a new band member, it's not.
It's
they're-
just not the same.
Yeah, it's like, dude, he didn't play it like that.
Yes.
Or he didn't act like that, or he didn't say that.
Yeah.
Listen, you're not the guy, but you're just here because
Because it's what the fans
yeah,
want.
it's what the fans want.
And
but
they want more music, they want
Yeah.
more tours and all that kind of stuff. But at
Yeah.
what cost?
at him just being there.
Hmm.
And they I mean the fans probably won't throw nice gifts on stage at him, but he's part of the band.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So yeah, and then finally on the 4th of June, which for this week will be our Friday, woot woot. In 1942, now I'm sure you people have noticed that most of our dates originate from 60s, 70s, and onwards. So this is quite momentous here. In 1942, which was about 3 years before the Second World War even ended. I'm talking that period of history, right?
Wow.
A gentleman by the name of Glenn Wallix, he launched Capitol Records in the US. This iconic label became home to such artists such as Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, Eddie Cochran, Gene Vincent, Bobby Darin, who was a crooner, Dean Martin, Glenn Campbell, Steve Miller, Dr. Hook, Bob Seger, Tina Turner, Hart, and countless others. Wallix was the man who invented the art of record promotion by sending copies of new releases to disc jockeys. So something that's now standard practice.
What?
He came up with it 3 years before the Second World War ended.
That did he not copyright this?
No.
Oh
No.
man.
No.
He would have been getting bank though if he did. Like that would be a lot of
Exactly.
money every single
Years
year.
of accumulated patent royalties, man.
Wait, Capitol Records is still there, right?
Yeah, Capitol Records still exists. I don't know who's on their roster right now, but they definitely, I think. Once again, feel free to hashtag COPA Radio and correct us if we are completely wrong, because we're just using our own musical education that we receive here. So, yeah.
That is really cool. Because I see like some artists would be on Capitol Records or you'd have a few things on Capitol Records, but I wouldn't say that it's the main record label right now.
Yeah,
I
because
don't-
it's Universal. Universal's definitely up there, and also I think Sony as well.
Yeah.
Sony BMG.
Sony fan.
Right, and then last but not least, in 1997, Jeff Buckley's body was discovered floating in the Mississippi River. Do you know who Jeff Buckley is?
No.
He was a guitarist and a singer and a songwriter, and he had the voice of an angel. Okay, do you know that song Hallelujah?
Yes.
Everyone knows Hallelujah.
He did the
I
song.
don't know if he wrote it, but he did a very iconic and well-known cover of it. And he also was like, because he one of those artists where he started getting in his stride, and then like by his second album, things just stopped, and then he died. Kind of
Wow.
things, like one of those taken too soon kind of musical legend kind of things. And
That's
he had
really
an album and a song called Grace as well that was extremely popular for him. And
Yeah.
so yeah, like I say, his body was discovered floating in the Mississippi River. What had happened is that Buckley had disappeared when swimming on May the 29th in Wolf River Harbor while wearing boots, all of his clothing, and singing the chorus of Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin. A roadie in his band had remained on shore. After moving a radio and guitar out of the reach of the wake from a passing tugboat, he looked up to see that Buckley had just vanished.
Was he at the right state of mind? Did he take any?
Who's to know? Who's
That
to know?
sounds like a drunk person type of thing to do.
Yeah.
Look, okay, which human being would just decide I'm gonna jump with all my clothes and I'm gonna go sing and with the
And just
guitar?
We do that
Float about.
We do that on New Year's. People jump in their pool fully clothed and just be like, yeah.
But they're usually drunk. It's New Year's Eve.
I wasn't drunk. I did that. I was singing It's the Final Countdown.
Oh my gosh.
Well, different strokes
'cause
for
it's
different
you,
folks.
Mitch, man. It's
Oh,
a Mitch
man.
thing to do. But nonetheless, shame. I don't know. It's either he was killed or he just had a lot of alcohol and
Or of some other
or
substance.
some other substance, and he got a heart attack or
I don't think
something
so.
of the sort.
Because, was he literally playing the guitar?
No, he wasn't literally playing the guitar. He was just floating on his back, singing Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin. And then his roadie turned around. When he looked back, he was just gone. Floated downriver, and then they found his body.
Loch Ness Monster.
I will not
That's
blame
in
the Loch Ness-
Scotland, Mitch.
We will
I
not.
can swim, guys.
And we are covered in oceans. So there's another conspiracy theory on behalf of old Mitchell there, and we will definitely take it under
It was
consideration.
Cthulhu.
It was
It
Cthulhu.
was Cthulhu.
It was
You know
him.
what's gonna happen? Everyone's gonna go on COPA Radio and just check us out on social media. So and say COPA SA, yo, what's up? He died because of whichever Cthulhu or the Loch Ness Monster, or because it's natural to drink alcohol and float off rivers and die.
Yeah.
Because these are things that happen, Mitch. These are really things that happen.
Yeah.
So don't forget to check us out on social media. That is Facebook, COPA SA, and on Twitter and Instagram, it's COPA_SA. And that was This Week in Music History, credited to This Day in Music History, .com.
All right, so
Anyone else
thank
wanna
you
check
very
us
much
out?
for letting me do this thing with you, Latoya.
Oh, thank you for
Cool.
joining me. Oh, yeah. Peace
Signing
out.
out.